We're live, David.
All right.
It's official.
First ever podcast. We've been planning this for how long?
This is like 2 years in the making now.
Yeah.
Something
Excellent.
like that.
And despite having 2 years to prepare, I couldn't get my camera ready.
So what's going on? Are we excited for the start of the NBA season?
Very excited. My heart is still a little broken from the Major League Baseball season and how that ended. So, and then my football team lost this weekend as well. So, I really need a distraction and move on to another sport.
For all our listeners out there, who's your football team?
Love the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. Really thought
That was a heartbreaker.
It was a heartbreaker, but listen, we'll just repeat what we did last year and beat them in the playoffs. But this is a basketball podcast, Tom.
This is. What are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
So what's the gist of this podcast? What are we trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, so I think you and I both love basketball. We want to highlight a few games and focus on our game picks. We want to focus on some prop picks. And Tom, in particular, is really good at finding the little bits of information about players. So we'll probably highlight some
Birthdays?
some things. Birthdays.
Hometown heroes?
Hometown heroes. You know, we're gonna come up with some interesting stuff.
You got to get your edge any way you can, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so we got 2 games tonight, so it should be nice and easy, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the fan. We're gonna work off FanDuel here.
Yeah. I can introduce the first game if you want.
Okay, you take it away, David.
All right. So we got the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Boston Celtics. Game is in Boston. Tip-off is 7:30 p.m. and the game is on TNT, which is my favorite and Tom's favorite station to watch games on.
It is. We love TNT. We love Charles. We love Shaq.
Yep. Well, I'm sure we'll go over some of our favorite TNT moments at a later date. All right, so where's the line on the game right now? You got FanDuel.
Saw it at 3, I think, -3.
Yeah, I've seen it at 3.5 on DraftKings. Sixers getting points, right? Which makes sense.
Yes, on the road. I think everyone's any major injury news in this game?
Well, let me go through the starting lineups, and we'll talk about
right.
some injuries. How's that sound?
That sounds excellent.
All right, so for the Sixers, get Tyrese Maxey at point guard, returning from a great season last year. James Harden at shooting guard, his first full season for the Sixers. Tobias Harris at small forward, PJ Tucker, a new addition to the team at power forward, and Joel Embiid at center.
MVP campaign for Joel Embiid this year?
I think so. I think he's got it. I think he's got a shot. He fell a little short. Oh, did he get it last year, or did he fall short?
He felt it was Jokic went back to back.
Oh, that's right. He really lost it in the end of the season. And then on the Celtics side, we got Marcus Smart, which is debatably labeled as a point guard. At shooting guard, we get Derek White. His first
no, Brogdon is not in the starting lineup?
Not in the starting lineup. Jaylen Brown, after a really strong year, I think he's got a good bounce back. I saw videos of him doing training in the bottom of a deep pool. That's got to make you good.
Always. Pool training. My favorite baseball player of all time, Greg Jeffries, used to swing the bat underwater in the pool. That's why he was such a good hitter.
We got another stud, Jason Tatum, also a Duke product. You know, I like my Dukies.
Oh, yes.
and Al Horford starting at center. The big injuries, as you asked, are Gallinari. Was a great signing in the offseason and then proceeded to, I think he tore his ACL or something in Euroball.
He's out for the year, right?
I think he's out for the year, maybe playoffs. And then I think the biggest one is Robert Williams.
That's for sure.
Is out for today. Any other comments on these guys?
No. I guess my reaction was I was a little surprised that Malcolm Brogdon is not starting. I have a feeling that might change soon.
Yeah, I would think so. I got these lineups from Roto, but he might come off the bench after the first couple minutes.
Yeah, continuity. Keep White and Smart in there.
Yeah, I actually
and
forgot.
Robert Williams, the Time Lord, is that's a tough loss for them.
Yeah, especially going up against Embiid, right?
But I think Horford he defends Embiid pretty well, right? He's got a pretty good history, I think, against going up against Embiid. So it'd be something to think about.
Yeah, there's also something to be said about old man strength.
That's right. I don't know if I'm counting on him. What did he have? Like 6 threes or something in the playoffs last year in that one game?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if we're going to see that again, but
all right. And what are your thoughts on James Harden? I'm hearing that he is changed quite a bit in the offseason, in much better shape, team player, took a pay cut. What are your thoughts on him?
I think he's that's the news you're hearing is that he came to play this year. I think he probably got a lot of feedback on his exit out of Houston, subsequent exit out of Brooklyn. So he doesn't have a lot of fans, and I think maybe did a little soul searching this offseason and is coming to be a real teammate. To be the way a point guard, to play the way a point guard's supposed to be the leader of his team. So I'm hopeful for his season this year. I think he's going to help Maxey a lot with extra time together. I think Maxey's ready to take a big step, and I'd be looking to maybe do something with him tonight.
Nice. And then a few other additions I think we didn't mention. You mentioned Brogdon, which is a massive addition.
Love
be
Brogdon.
Interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he helps the team. On the Sixers side, I believe Melton came over from the Grizzlies. Is that where he was?
He was on the Grizzlies last year. Yep, he's on my short list. He's one of my notes right here. Melton. I starred his name.
And then Daniel House, I believe, also came over. Was he on Houston or where was he?
He was on Houston. Maybe Sacramento a little bit last year. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the big players, right?
I had one other written down. Maybe
what do you got?
Isn't Montrez on the Sixers this year?
Yeah, I think they did pick him up. I think I actually texted you when they picked him up. I really like Montrez, and especially putting him next to Tucker. That's just like the tough guy team right there.
I like that. This other angle that I like is Montrez had his best seasons playing for Doc Rivers on the Clippers. So this is his reunion with Doc, and they had that nice thing going. Him and Lou Williams. I'm eyeing possibly a Melton Montrez thing going on this season to something I want to keep an eye on.
Melton Montrez. That sounds like a bad movie. All right. What else you got, Tom?
I don't know. Do we have any angles? Or what's the plan now? We want to talk about some plays in this game. Do we want to talk about the other game? What do we want to do?
Yeah, I think let's round out this game. Let's maybe give our views on the game. You got the spread. I believe we said was 3 or 3.5, depending on what book you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Plus Sixers plus 3.5. and then the over under was at 216. So so why don't you start? Do you like either of those?
I think I'm leaning Boston. I like. I think the turmoil of Udoka, being out for the season and whatnot. I think it'll galvanize the team a little bit. Got something to prove. I also think it's very, very difficult for. Where was I going with that one? Oh, Tatum. I just think who's guarding Tatum in this game? Tucker?
Yeah.
Harris?
Yeah,
Tobias Harris?
No, I mean, if the Sixers use Tucker like every other team, the Heat and the Bucks, they usually throw Tucker on the best scorer, and he like gets under their skin and can rattle them. Tatum should be able to handle him, but yeah, I think Tucker will be on him most of the game.
Yeah, I think given that, I think Horford's history against Embiid, I'm leaning Celtics and Celtics giving up those 3 points.
Okay, so first off, I think I lean towards an under pick. There's not a lot of points, 216, but at the same point, I feel like first game of the season, these teams are going to come out a little sloppy. But
have we checked where any of the sharp money is going?
Yeah, the sharp money for this game was on the under, and it was going towards the Celtics.
Whoa.
Heavy Celtics, right?
Heavy Celtics -3. Heavy. I don't know if I've ever seen it so heavy.
Yeah.
28 moves?
28 moves on the Celtics, and yet my gut on a lot of my picks today are against the Sharps.
Wow, you also have a ton of action on the under. Sharp action
Yeah.
on the under.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that parlay is screaming its name out.
Yeah,
Boston
but how well do you
-3
think
and
the
under.
Sharps? How well do you think the Sharps know what they're talking about?
They don't. Nobody knows what they're talking about this time of year, right?
Without the history, right?
Yeah. It seems you're zigging. I think.
I'm
Or
zigging
zagging.
when yeah. Usually you're going against the grain, but today
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Sixers plus 3.5, even though I
Hmm.
actually want the Celtics to win. And if I had to take a lean on the over under, I would say under 216.
Yeah, I like the under here. First game of the season, everyone's a little tight. I think that's how history usually plays out in these things.
Let me throw out a little tidbit for you that
Okay.
might change your mind. So the Celtics, without Robert Williams, don't underestimate the value of this man.
Oh, I don't.
5-11 against the spread as home favorites.
5-11 against the spread as home favorites. Wow, that was last season.
That was last season. So he was out
Interesting.
quite a bit. I don't really know which teams they played in those 16 games, but that's a big enough sample that you say,
But those raise some eyebrows.
raise some eyebrows. I think Embiid's going to have a big game. And there's a lot of distractions on the Celtics side. You think that's going to generate some positive momentum. I think maybe they haven't gotten their heads in the right place yet.
I could see that, and they also you always have to factor in. They made it to the finals last year. A lot of times, maybe there's some hangover from that. Whereas the Sixers are, they got something to prove. They haven't made it yet. Embiid another year, another no MVP. Harden with a lot to prove. I kind of like where your head's at on this. Maybe.
I think it's worth sharing with our guests as well. Tom and I went to the final Sixers game of last season against
That's
the
right.
Heat. Perhaps the most atrocious effort by a basketball team ever. The Heat just dominated. They had zero heart. So if they come out like they finished, the Celtics could win by 30. But there's a sentiment that this is a new team.
The new James Harden.
New James Harden.
That's what it is.
And no more Danny Green, which he almost died in that game.
Where's Danny Boy playing this year?
I don't know where he went.
Interesting. Long Island boy, just like us.
Yeah.
Any props jumping out at you?
Danny Green was part of that Melton trade, I think. I think he's on the Grizzlies. Yeah. Props. I didn't spend a lot of time on props. I did see a bunch of people are on Embiid's rebound line. They like the 10.5 rebounds. It does seem a little low for Embiid, but I personally would stay away from that because I think it's just unknown what PJ Tucker out there is going to be doing to Embiid's rebounds.
Good point. That's a good point.
I think James Harden, being less fat, will rebound more than he did last year. That's also what I'm hearing. So he also could be pulling some rebounds away.
And what about assists? Trying to show that he's, he is going to be the guy that they can rely on this year to take them to the promised land. What do you think?
Yeah, I really, if I were to go with a James Harden play, I think I would go with James Harden double-double.
What's the line on that?
I think it was close to plus 200. Let me see. You got it there?
I got to remember. I don't.
Oh, here we go. I got it here. All right, yeah, it's down to plus 150 on DraftKings. That's not amazing.
It's so juicy.
I mean, he'll get the points, right? So now it's really about assists or rebounds, which
I think he's going to be looking to show what he can do and dish that ball around tonight. Maxey and Embiid. I feel pretty confident. I mean, I don't love that it's only plus 150, but
well, look at this on FanDuel. It's plus 106.
Wow.
So always worth checking both multiple books before you bet your double doubles, triple doubles, because they can be very different. So yeah, I think I would go with Harden plus 150 double double.
Double. Okay.
Put it in the books. All right.
Writing it down.
What do you got? Oh, you're going to hold us accountable? We're actually going to see how we do after the show?
I think we should.
Wow, that's I guess how you.
I mean, we gotta have something. If we're not held accountable, then we can just throw these picks around. And if we do track them, and we do have a good success rate, that sells this shit even more.
Oh, we're allowed to curse on our podcast?
Oh yeah, we're real. It's authentic. This is what it is.
Okay. My kids actually want to watch the podcast. So.
Okay. Sorry.
No, we just need to edit it a bit after.
Okay. It's a good point. I didn't think about that.
It's okay. They watch YouTube, so they're exposed to worse. All right. What do you got for your prop pick?
So I like to dig for the value, those little hidden gems, A couple things I didn't dig a ton, but a couple things that kind of the direction I was pointing in is I didn't even see if there's anything. Did you notice if there's any props up for like Melton or Montrez?
I mean, I doubt Montrez I don't even know if Montrez will play.
Really? Well, I guess they have. Well,
Dude,
Dwight
he's
Howard's
like,
not on the team, right? It's just PJ
no,
Tucker and.
Dwight Howard's on the Nets now. He's like completing his tour around the league. No, what I noticed, both books have very limited player props today. Kind of like six man and above.
Mm-hmm.
I think they don't know enough
They don't
about
know.
who's going to play. They don't want to take that risk. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll read off who's got a line for points at least. You got Horford, White, Harden, Brown, Tatum, Embiid, Smart, Harris, and Maxey. That's it. That's 9 players. That's all you
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Montrez.
Not even Malcolm Brogdon, I guess, because he's not starting. That's why he was another guy I was trying to.
Yeah, but you know what? When the games get started, they sometimes open those up with live bets. So
I guess
yeah,
one I would be
yeah.
leaning towards. I kind of have a feeling that Harden and the guys are going to be looking to get Maxey some good looks tonight. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards his over on points.
Who, Maxey?
Maxey, yeah, but I didn't look into any historical stuff on him yet.
So this is what you would call a gut play?
This is a gut play. But
right,
the gut play can be canceled if history says otherwise. You know what I mean?
I don't really know what that means, but 17.5 is the over at minus 135.
I see it on FanDuel here. It's at 18.5.
Yeah. So it seems like it's trending up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good play. I mean, Maxey's hard to really figure out because he will go off for 25 one game and then score 10 another.
Yeah.
But he's a young kid.
This is his third season now, or this is just his second season? I don't remember if he was a rookie last year.
No, this is, I think it's
Got to be his third.
Third.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I like that. Like you said, I think Harden is gonna try to defer. He's gonna focus on assisting the ball and rebounding, and that'll put Maxey in a spot to really score.
Just looking here, a couple props that are popping nicely is in the 4 games. The 4 games Philly and Boston played the last 2 seasons, Embiid has hit his over on assists every single game.
What was
3.5. I'm just looking at a couple that really have high hit rates.
Yeah, but how many of those were like a pass that hit off his head and then landed in somebody else's hands?
That's good. Assists with Embiid is, I hear you.
Right.
Tatum's cleared his rebound line every single game the last 2 years that they played, last 2 seasons. Something to think about there. You were liking Tatum tonight, right?
I like Tatum. Again, like I saw a lot on his rebound line, and I'm thinking about that one, but he's like when he goes after it, he could put up 12 rebounds. Like he's that good, but sometimes that's not his priority. So it really depends on what the game script is.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's wrap up this game.
Okay.
Right? And let's move on to the night game. You got anything else? Any closing comments on this one?
No. Let's move on.
Okay, that's good. What are you wearing there? A Richmond hat?
This is a Richmond hat, yeah.
Richmond Spiders.
Go Spiders, baby.
Nice. We'll get if this goes well, we might even get into a little college basketball at some point.
Oh boy.
But let's start small. Okay, so the night game. Let me tee it off. We got 10 p.m. On TNT, which means it'll probably start at 10:30. Lakers, the LA Lakers Tom's new hometown, going against the Golden State Warriors. Any initial comments before I go through the starting lineups?
No. Go ahead. No.
Okay. All right. So point guard for the Lakers starting is Pat Bev, new addition. Came over from the T-Wolves. Yeah, T-Wolves. This one was a surprise. Shooting guard Austin Reeves.
I saw
starting.
that. Yeah.
I like that guy. I don't know why. Maybe he seems relatable to me.
That's what I was going to say. Continue.
Small forward Lonnie Walker, coming over from the Spurs for the last 4 seasons. Averaged 12 points for the Spurs per game last year. So that's
interesting signing there. That's
yeah.
He's a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah, I don't see him like being an X factor, but he's a nice piece.
Yeah.
And LeBron James, most of you have heard of him at this point, going on for a record-breaking season, right? Going to break the all-time points, so he's going to be amped up. And Anthony Davis, AD, back for more, starting at center, which I think was the point of some contention. He prefers to play power forward, I believe, but
does not like to play center.
Yeah, he's a fragile man, so I think he doesn't like getting beat up by the big boys. But that's where they need him. All right, so that's the Lakers side. Anything to add? Obviously, the big person left out of that lineup is Westbrook, who's going to be coming off
the bench, which could be interesting when he's got his dedicated time in each half that he's running the show. He can put up some numbers quickly, but I
give that about 2 weeks,
and he'll be off the team.
He'll be off the team.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I saw a couple clips from the preseason. Body language was terrible. Like, looks like he doesn't want to be part of this. So he'll get some extra energy juice from leading his like little sub team here, but the team is too small to.
Did you see that one clip?
Captains.
Did you see that one clip where they were huddling up?
Yeah.
And he was just on the side by himself there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't blame him though. The guy is just like, everybody trashes him so much that like he's got to be just tired of that situation. So, but you're getting paid $40 million. You get out there and you huddle with your team.
Yeah.
All right, and the notable injury for the Lakers that I saw was Dennis Schroeder. So this basically tells you don't go play Euroball because half the guys who went and played Euroball got hurt and aren't available to start the season. I don't know if there's anybody else that I missed, but that's the Lakers side.
I think that's it. Do they have any new signings this year?
They got a bunch of guys I never heard of. Schroeder was the big one, right? He came back.
Right. They have Horton Tucker.
No, he's gone. He's he's in the on the Jazz now.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All I know is that that big signing. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but Pat Beverly is getting a steal tonight. We'll look at that. We'll look at that in a minute.
I really like that.
Yes.
I'm glad you teased it. All right.
So I like that we're both on the same page there.
No, I didn't think about that until you just said it. But
okay. But now you're in.
You got me rethinking my bet. I really like that. Okay. Yeah, he's a beast. He's a great signing. He's just like, he's going to get like all these guys to act like adults, which is great.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got the Warriors. Starting point guard.
Defending champion
Warriors. Although they're a bit of a hot mess right now. You got Curry starting at point guard. Clay coming back for his first full season in years.
That's right.
So that'll be interesting. Wiggins, who was just amazing last year and really played like everybody thought he would eventually get to.
And just got rewarded with a big contract.
Yeah, just got a big contract, along with Jordan Poole, who's not starting. And then Draymond, Draymond causing the drama.
He's playing. I know he's just taking some time off, but he's back now, back with the team.
He's back. He came back for the final preseason game. Looked like things were copacetic there.
They worked it out.
Worked it out, and then Looney, who was a nice little surprise in the playoffs last year, starting at center, going up against AD. Notable injury, but not very surprising, is Iguodala, who is again part of the old man club. Spends half of his year on.
He's almost like Udonis Haslem now, right? He's like the mascot almost. I mean, he doesn't really play that much, does he?
Yeah, he's like the extended coach.
Yeah.
Super athletic though. Even as an old man, he could like still impress.
He's a good golfer too.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll go play college golf after.
Like, who's the guy that's doing that?
What was his name from the Cavs?
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith, yeah.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that was it. So those are the lineups and notable injuries. I'm sure that we're missing somebody, but any other game notes that you have before we go into the?
Yes, I do. So I believe Steve Kerr said that none of the Golden State starters are ready to play more than 30 minutes tonight. So just something to keep in mind when we're looking at props, both on the starter end and then also if there's any available for some of those guys off the bench like Kuminga, Wiseman, DiVincenzo. I kind of would like those, seeing that the guys aren't going to get a long extended run. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I'm not really sure how you could be a professional athlete and have 3 months to get ready for a season and not be ready to play a full game. But I think he's looking at the bigger picture and just trying to keep these guys fresh throughout the season. But that does kind of tell me that they may not be in it to win it tonight. Right? That's you're willing to put a time limit on your players in these big opening game. That sends a initial signal to me that it may not blow them out.
Yeah, I agree.
You feeling that?
I am. What we got any sharp action here to look at?
Yeah. So you got it there. Or you want me to take it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see.
I know it was on the Lakers. Yep, 21 moves on the Lakers +7.
Does this mean because there's so many, you think that is indicative of it actually, they're actually being value, or is it just like people are excited to bet on NBA and that's why there's, when do you ever see this many moves?
No, right? it has to do with the fact that it's the first game of the season.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And there's only 2 games, so, but still, it's a trend.
But based on what we were just saying, the the Lakers getting those 7 points, I like that. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think we'll go through some history in a minute, and that does support the Lakers getting points, but they're so insanely dysfunctional. They could also like lose by 40 to to the backups of the Warriors. Like they're that potentially bad. So, so the spread is -7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warriors -7, and the over under that I have is 224.5.
That's fairly high.
Yeah. So let me. You got anything you want to say on that?
No. You go ahead.
The history.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's what I found interesting. So like we said, the sharps are on the Lakers big time, and they're on the under. A little less big, but still some good action on the under. So I pulled up the 4 games that they played last year.
Okay.
Right? They played, I believe this was opening night. It was 10-19, so 21.
Yeah, probably
so
was. Yeah.
Golden State won 121 to 114. So Golden State won by 7. How did they come up with that spread? Right?
Yeah.
LeBron James put up 34 points.
Wow.
They played again.
And AD played that game? Do you know?
I don't know. Actually.
I can take a look. You go ahead.
Then February they played. So they didn't play for several months. February they played. Golden State won again, but it was tight, 117 to 115. So Golden State won that. LeBron put up 26 points. They played a couple weeks later on March 5th, 124 to 116. The Lakers took that game. LeBron put up 56 points in that game.
Wow.
So, yeah, it took LeBron putting up 56 points for them to win. And then they played a throwaway game, I think, in the last week of the season. I don't even think LeBron played, or if he did, he didn't play much. This was on 4-7, and the Warriors won 128 to 112. Your boy Horton Tucker led the scoring with 40 points, and then they subsequently dumped him over to the Jazz to never be seen on live TV again.
Wow. Can I just point out that in that first game, first of all, Anthony Davis did play. He played 33 minutes and 11. He played 39 minutes. Wow, 33 points, 11 rebounds. But what was interesting is he doesn't get many of these, but Steph actually had a triple-double in that game.
Ooh, that's very interesting.
Yes, it is.
But also very hard to pull off in 30 minutes.
Back home openers.
No, in 30 minutes of play.
Yes, good point. Let's see what he did. He did it in 36 last year.
So the one note to make, the average points scored here was 236 points.
Of the 4 games.
Of the 4 games.
Interesting.
None of these games were under the 224.5 mark. So the sharps are on the under, but my feeling is the over is...
it's interesting, David.
It's going to get smacked. I just think that there's like a different energy on the West Coast for opening night than there is on the East Coast.
And I think, do you think that opening night a guy's going to be coming out to play lockdown defense, or are they going to kind of, take it a little easy? What do you think?
I think nobody wants to get hurt on opening night, especially. I mean, both these teams are pretty old, right? So
he's probably 2 of the oldest, yeah.
2 of the older teams. I think, this is probably the most in shape they're going to be, or fit to play that they're going to be all season, coming off of rest. These 2 teams are going to be kind of, especially the Lakers, probably riddled with injuries throughout the season. So I think, the defense will be okay, not bad. The Warriors don't really play bad defense. The Lakers probably will play bad defense, but I think it's going to be an open offensive game. So I don't see why the under,
Yeah, I like where your head's at. I like that. I like that historical data. I like that. I think that's a nice play that we could jump on tonight.
Okay, so, and then what about the game itself? So Warriors, like I said, the Warriors won by 5, by 2. And lost by 8 in the 3 real games. We'll throw out that last game of the season since it was just all the scrubs playing. So relatively tight games.
Yeah, I think that I like the Lakers with those points. I think that LeBron knows they have to get off to a good start. or the season's done. It'll be time to throw in the towel if if he's digging, out of a hole to start the season. I think they don't have as much. The Warriors don't have as much to play for, having just won the championship, and I'm kind of leaning towards there's a little bit more, what's the word, urgency for the Lakers and getting those 7 points. That's where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I think I like it. I think I would go that way. I might even, I don't know what the line would be on this, but I might even do something like Warriors money line parlayed with Lakers 10.5 or something like that, right? Because I think the Warriors will win the game, but I think it's going to be decently close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or they blow them out by 40.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. At which point, the 7 points is going to lose anyway. So
yeah.
Let me see what that would be.
Oh, sorry. I said Taylor Horton Tucker earlier. I actually meant Juan Toscano Anderson, who moved from Golden State to is on the Lakers now. So I always love those. That's another little narrative. I doubt we can get a prop on him right now, but just something to keep in mind. Maybe to live bet later or something. A Juan Toscano Anderson revenge game prop.
I think you just like betting on guys with 3 names.
It could be that too.
Who else has 3 names in the league?
Well, there was Meta World Peace. He might have started it all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh yeah, you're probably him. I think so. Yeah, he had it on Meta.
There's got to be some. Oh no, what was the? You like those 2 guys that are cousins, right, or something? Shea.
Oh, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah.
And then what's his cousin?
Alexander Walker on the Pelicans. Nikhil Alexander Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, Nikhil. Yeah, exactly. See?
Those
Do you
are my
like
boys?
It's
You
not.
got 3 names. I'm betting on you. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
It's really not great for buying their jerseys, though. You get those like super long names on the back of the jersey.
Yeah, the tiny letters.
Tiny letters. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just before we move on, or spend 10 minutes finding more multi-name players. The Lakers plus 10.5, and the Warriors money line is plus 170. It's not bad.
It's not.
It's what I like to call the thread the needle bet.
We love that.
But that's a pretty big.
What'd you say? Lakers plus 10.5.
Yep.
Golden State money line.
Of those 3 games last year, none of them were won by more than 8.
Would you
8
put
points.
Would you put the over with that?
You could. I'd probably tease the over down a little bit. Maybe like
220.
220, maybe something like that. But I'd probably keep those as separate.
Yeah. I like that overplay. Sometimes you know how I love zigging when everyone else is zagging. I think even though there's all that sharp money, I like the thought you got behind that. And
sometimes you got to swim upriver, Tom.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about props, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Okay.
I think, unless you want to.
Nope. I'm always ready for props.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna run through. Let me run through here quick. Anybody that's really popping based on their these guys' last four or so games that they played against each other. Let's see. Points wise, Poole hit in 75% of those games. Poole also points and assists. He did. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, so Klay Thompson rebounds. He hit that in every game. 2.5. But it's kind of you don't love that, right?
Well, I think Klay for most of the season was not in full form. So I think now that he's had a full off,
It's a good point, Dave. It's a good point. He's feeling healthier now. 2.5
Yeah.
is a small line, and he's maybe a little bit more willing to go in there to get some balls. You know.
You know what? I also really like betting small lines on these late games because they have the potential to cash in the first or second quarter, and then you don't have to
Then you can go to bed.
go to bed.
And that's why I'm in Los Angeles. I keep watching, and then we pick up the next day.
All right, West Coast.
That's why I moved here.
Yeah, exactly. Who else you got? I like that one.
Yeah, I do too. And LeBron also got there in every. He hit the over on rebounds in every game they played at 8.5.
Yeah, rebounds is. I know we're favoring the over, but rebounds in the first game of the season is probably a good.
It's probably good. Yeah, a lot of missed shots.
A lot of missed shots. Yeah, so I like.
So maybe
that,
that's something we should have thought about for the Boston game if we were leaning under on there, but it's for another day.
Yeah, you can't go backwards.
You're not allowed. So the par, so LeBron, Steph, and Draymond cleared their points, rebound, and assist total in every game they played last year.
Okay.
And let's just look at some threes here. Yeah, LeBron cleared his 3-point line every game, and I was betting this a lot last season. Wiggins over 1.5 threes. That was a go-to for me last year.
Yeah.
And I think I might hit that up again.
You know that this team is the easiest one to model off of the playoffs and last year because it's the same team, right?
Yeah.
Right. You got same starting lineup. You look at the Lakers. That's 3 new starters. Even going back to the previous, I guess the Celtics are pretty much the same. But yeah, this is a pretty good team if you wanted to use historicals, props to go with. So I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking here. I think that's probably it.
When you had the Pat Bev. Steal too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How could we forget? I don't see any lines out on him yet, though. That's why it wasn't popping up.
Oh, okay.
But for sure, something to keep in mind. It probably won't be half a steal. For Pat Bev, it'll probably be 1.5, I would imagine, right? No?
Yeah, he might. Yeah, probably.
I think so. That's if I remember from last year. I rarely saw him at 0.5. But
so let me give you. You'll tie this up in a nice bow for us at the end, right?
yeah.
So my initial reaction, just based on some of the preseason I saw, was Kuminga.
Yeah, buddy. He's right here on my list. Kuminga. Yep. Number one.
Love him, but his prop line is not out. But I did look up last year. I think he's just a matter of playing time, right?
Yep.
Games where he scored 15, where he played 15 minutes or more, he averaged 14.3 points.
Wow.
Right? So he's scoring almost a point a minute. The team is so good at passing, and defenses are constantly having to overextend to guard the 3. What I saw in the preseason game, I think it was against the Nuggets, they just get around people with one move, and then the center has to step up and take on the point guard, and Kuminga's there for an easy 2-point dunk.
I love it.
So if his prop line was out, I would hammer that. It's not out yet. My guess is it would come out somewhere around 8 or 9 points. And I think he's gonna. I think in this game he's gonna score 15 plus.
Even more so, on top of everything you just said, the fact that the starters aren't going to go more than 30 minutes tonight. He's going to eat up all those minutes, and I also like it. I also like it for Moody and Wiseman and DiVincenzo too. I think I think they're
Yeah.
going to try to get Wiseman some extra run. He's looked good in the preseason. They're going to try to get Draymond and Looney, some extra rest. And he didn't play all last season, so they're going to try to get a good look at him, I think. So I like his. I probably like his props, rebounds and points, because they're going to be super low, and definitely something I'm going to be looking at later this afternoon.
And the other one I was looking at, but I don't think I've ever been successful with LeBron, but LeBron at I think his line was around 26.5 to 27.5, depending on where you looked at it. I think he's got the potential to put up a 30-plus point game, but I'll probably steer clear of that one. But I do think he'll have a really big game tonight. Like I said, in the 3 games he played against the Warriors, he was 34, 26, and 56. So he's all about the show at this point. He knows everybody's going to be watching this game. He's going to want to put up 40 points and move him closer to that record.
Yeah, I like it. What else we got?
That's all I think I got for these games. And you got anything else you want to cover?
I always like to look at a few long odds. You know
Okay.
me. Yep. Couple things that I get oriented here. I love a good like 30-point scoring parlay of 2 guys that have big numbers next to them.
Okay.
One of them I highlighted was Maxey 30 points at almost 9-1 plus 880. That sounds like it's right in my wheelhouse. The other one I like is Jordan Poole 30 points at plus 920.
Okay. What if you put those 2 together?
Yeah, it's monster. I usually like to do it from the same game, just because you're going to get a bunch of scoring.
So you would think, given what we said, to lean on the over for the night game.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, listen, the other game, if it comes in at the line was 216, if it comes in at 210, still a lot of points. Somebody's going to be scoring 30 points.
Yeah. So
it's not going to be Montrez.
It won't be Montrez. Yeah, I like that Maxey, and I like that Poole, especially. I think Poole could get some extra run tonight, and he can get to 30 quite easily. So.
You think he's upset that he got punched in the face?
I think, and maybe I think he probably is, and I think also maybe Kerr, wants to show his support and let him have a good game.
He's a guy who can score quickly. Both of those guys, they're inconsistent, but when they're
young.
hot,
Yeah.
when they're hot, they go off.
They're awesome. Yeah,
I like those 2 picks. I wouldn't be against putting them together.
All right.
Any birthdays or hometown heroes?
No, we had the Time Lord's birthday is tomorrow, but he's not playing. And hometown heroes, I didn't do a deep dive, but since these are big cities, it's those hometown heroes are like the guys, going to those second tier cities that they played college near or they grew up near, the Memphises and the San Antonios and stuff like that. So, I don't got anything for today.
All right. Well, I think this was a pretty awesome first podcast, right?
Yes, it was.
As barring, putting the technical issues aside.
We'll work through that.
I thought this went well. So, thank you for your time.
Yes. good luck betting, and we're gonna.
What's
we're
our
gonna come-
what's our closing statement here?
I don't know. We got to figure that one out. You don't want to force it unless you got something. I think we let it come to us organically.
Okay. All right. Well, you're in charge of that one.
I'll put some thought into it.
All right.
All right. Good luck.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.